So she is passionate about mental health and spiritual and emotional wellness. Her mission is to train and educate people to eradicate the stigma around mental illnesses in India. She has a vast experience in the mental health space, and she is an accredited mental health first aid instructor. She has also worked with the Pranab Mukherjee Foundation, pioneering their mental health awareness efforts in Haryana. She is also she also has a good understanding of gathering insights on meditation from various resources, and she is a mindfulness coach and facilitator. So a warm welcome to Ms. Namita Paul, and I hand it over to you to start the session with our members. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening and namaskar to everybody. Thank you so much for giving me the respect of inviting me and having me to talk to so many experienced senior citizens. It's a privilege, and I'm very excited to share whatever my insights and understanding of mindfulness are. So I'll just start screen share. I hope this is visible to everybody.
Yes, it is visible.
All right. So as you would have heard by now, this session is about mindfulness, enhancing our awareness through mindfulness and bringing the focus back to ourselves. So when I say bringing my focus back to myself, I'm not talking about, as they say, indulging myself. I'm not talking about fulfilling my desires. I'm actually talking about bringing my focus back to my awareness about myself. So we'll take it that is the meaning of bringing my focus back to myself. Nowadays, the concept of health has undergone a sea change. In the last decade or so, we've heard this word wellness, and it has dominated, the health scenario completely. And it now not only encompasses, it used to mean health, and health used to mean physical health. And now we're talking of the trinity of mind, body, and soul. So if we consider wellness, it's considered the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead to holistic health, which means a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy soul. Now, as far as the body is concerned, I'm sure we all, we've been there, done that. We know, what healthy choices food-wise are. So definitely the first factor is the body, and the body, in order to be healthy, functional, having good immunity. We know it's become very important nowadays. So eating healthy is, of course, very important. We need to make conscious, healthy choices in whatever we are putting into our mouth. We do that consciously. We can indulge ourselves also occasionally, but we do that consciously, occasionally, as a treat. And also we eat mindfully, eat in a good atmosphere, happily, and connect with family or friends, or even on our own. We eat our food with gratitude and a good energy and vibration. And then we have, of course, a little bit of the physical exercise. There are various ways we can inculcate this in our lives. There is, of course, a holistic yoga, which is about basically the geometry of the body. We're looking at creating the correct postures and, breathing patterns and doing pranayam and enhancing the energy of the body by getting ourselves like an antenna into the correct position to be in certain communions with the universe. And then, of course, we have a little bit of aerobic exercise. Wherever it is physically possible for us, we would like to get the heart rate going and do a proper, good aerobic exercise, so that has a different aspect of adding to our health. And then I'm a big propagator of walking in nature, whether you do it on your own, whenever it is possible, or with friends. It's always a good idea to go out for a walk early in the morning or in the evening when the sun has come down in its intensity. And that's also a very good way to connect with nature, and also to connect with a few friends you could get to meet every day. Now, that was, more about the body. And so as far as the mind and, the spirit are concerned, there is emotional wellness, and that is a very complicated, paradigm. But we're all becoming more and more aware of the importance of this on its own, as well as because of the effect it has on our physical health as well. So we need to be able to be aware of our feelings, to accept them, and with our awareness and acceptance, to find a way to stay optimistic and enjoy life, even when what all has been happening around us for the last couple of years is happening. So here, as far as lifestyle is concerned, as I had mentioned earlier, we can build bonds with a few friends, find a way to connect in some way, whether when it's not physically possible because of, we've had viruses and we've had all these lockdowns. So technology here is coming very much in use. And then when it's possible to get out into the sunshine, sit with a few friends, or go to the Chai Masti Center, as you all do, and enjoy a cup of tea and, chats with a few colleagues and friends. And then the very important thing is that life today has shown us that nothing is in control, and there are going to be problems. Sometimes in our personal lives, sometimes in our families, sometimes in society, country, internationally, there is a war happening. So it just goes on, and then the whole world was, thrown into a big conundrum because of the virus. So there is no choice but to embrace the problems, to accept them. And when we accept them, we create a whole lot of different energy in our minds to then find the best possible functional way to enhance our lives within that sphere. So while we cannot control the war or the virus, the sooner we start accepting and thinking, okay, now this is what has happened, now what can I do? As soon as we go into that energy, we suddenly start finding ways to still manage life in an acceptable manner and to feel better and better as the days go by, because then we quickly start adjusting. Then we develop a flexibility in our minds. And I'm also a big fan of journaling. Your diary is your eternal friend. It's not going anywhere. It's always there in your shelf, in your cupboard, irrespective of, whether you say hi to it in the morning or not, or good night to it, or, talk to it on the phone. So it's always sitting there waiting for you to share your feelings. And a good way to share is, of course, to talk to your diary. I would say write a little bit about what is bothering you, but also after that, to make sure that you add a couple of lines of whatever it is that you've been grateful for in that day. And that will make your diary feel better, and it will definitely enhance how you're feeling about yourself and your day. So this is a picture that I wanted to share. It's in a way, it's peaceful, and in a way, it's a little lonely, and it's also very beautiful with the golden, sunset, golden hour, as they say in photography nowadays. But the point is that, there, like we speak about things not in our control, but the one thing that can be in our control, I wouldn't say it is always, but it can be, is our response to what is happening in life. So if we keep, each one of us is in a boat, and we're on our own. We might have boats going in the same direction. We might have temporary passengers, our children, our grandchildren, our spouses. But the fact is that each one of us started out in the boat on our own, and we're going to, keep going on our own. And so it's important that we keep the oars in our own hands. And keeping the oars in our own hands means that we steer ourselves consciously in the direction that we want. So there can be influences, there can be incidences, there can be certain, things that happen in our lives that will cause us to start flowing in the wrong direction. And sometimes when we start reacting instead of responding, we automatically start going in whichever direction the current of the river is pulling us. But then, as soon as we come back to center, we realize that, oh, this was not the direction that I wanted. And then we start steering ourselves again in the right direction. So the more conscious we remain of our choices and in terms of how we want to think, how we want to be, then that is the direction that we will keep steering ourselves in, and make sure that the currents, even if they start pulling us into a different direction, we are conscious of those currents and we keep changing direction as per the need. So that brings us to our days, our daily routines, our lives, our week. What kind of day are you having today? What kind of week have you had? What kind of month are you having? What are you doing about, how you're spending the day, how you're thinking during the day? Each minute, each hour, each second is an experience. You're experiencing everything that you're doing, thinking, feeling. You're experiencing it internally. So what are you choosing to do about that? The best way is to make sure that you have a routine of your choice, and that you can accommodate others. You can be there for the family, for somebody ailing around you, somebody who needs you. Certainly all that can be a part of your routine. But if we do not keep ourselves emotionally healthy internally, then we will not be able to give our best to all those other duties and responsibilities that we have chosen to take on. So, spend a little time with a friend, go out, sit in the sunshine, do little small things that bring joy to your day on a daily basis, on a regular basis. And you will see that at the end of the week, if somebody asks you what kind of week have you had, it might have not been spectacular in terms of anything new happening, but you might end up saying, I had a good week. I did this on Monday and I did that on Tuesday, and Thursday was fun because I went to my temple, or I did a spiritual mindfulness session, or I went to meet a friend on Friday, and overall it's been a nice week. So this is what we are doing with ourselves, and we need to do it consciously, because this is what is creating the little parts of our daily lives. So it's easier said than done, right? To be conscious all the while and to make sure that we're not, going off into a tangent or being pulled into a certain direction. Somebody comes and provokes us, and then we suddenly, start getting agitated, and we say, why did they do that? And why are they talking like this to us? I was just asking a question, and I was just being on my own, and I was just minding my own business. Well, that is where our awareness comes in handy. So many things have gone on in the past. There have been people who have hurt us, people who have not been straight with us, people who have destroyed us in certain ways, in some cases. And then there is the worry about, what is happening in the future, little things you have to manage in your daily lives. Whether it's family responsibilities or financial responsibilities, everybody's got something going on still. And so the important thing is to enhance your experience of the now. When we enhance our ability to be here, to be now, and accept this moment without any judgment, then we start creating the capacity, enhancing our capacity to even change it. Because there is no other way. When we're fighting what is, there is no way that we can, change it. So whatever it is we're experiencing right now, find a way to make peace with it in your mind. And that way is enhancing acceptance that comes with enhancing awareness. And then we find a way to steer ourselves into the direction that we want to go into. So what is mindfulness meditation? It means dissolving the invisible walls that unawareness has built. What is unawareness? What we've been talking about, just being steered into a certain direction. And by steered into a certain direction, I mean our thoughts. I mean our ability to consciously think that I don't want to hate. I don't want to dislike. I don't want to send this vibration out at this stage in life. I want to be able to send out blessings to everybody, goodwill to everybody. And I want to be okay with that person not being okay, as long as I find a way to make peace with it. So the more we find a way to enhance our internal awareness, to find a way to observe our own selves like a third person, when I build on that capacity, on that ability to know where my thoughts are going, then I can see which thoughts I want to serve tea to inside my brain, which thoughts I want to just let ring my doorbell and go away and not open the door to, and which thoughts I want them to come and stay inside in my home, in my mind, in my brain, in my heart. So this is mindfulness meditation is about enhancing our awareness, and then gradually, as we said, finding the thoughts that we want to keep within ourselves. So the idea is not to control thoughts, to get rid of any thoughts. That is not the idea at all. I recently attended a session and somebody gave a very nice example, which is that, when you put a bucket of dirty water under the tap and you open the tap, which has clean water coming in, what happens? The clean water starts running into the bucket. You're not taking the dirty water out. You haven't emptied the bucket, but gradually the water will start purifying. Because why? Because we're just adding the good thoughts. We're just enhancing our capacity to feel good thoughts in our daily lives on a regular basis. Gradually, the habit, the pathways in our brain that we've developed by thinking a certain way all the time over the years, and it's nobody's fault. It just happens automatically to all of us. So we now consciously can develop new pathways. And so initially it'll need a lot of reminding, but gradually we'll be able to let go of certain very ingrained habits within us. And by habits, again, I mean ways of thinking. So the idea to dissolve your personality, what does it mean? It doesn't mean that, we cease to be who we are, since, for so many years, this is me, and my name is Kiku Namita Paul. I'm just under 50 years old. I have a certain identity. I have a husband, I have a son. But no, I'm talking of my intense likes, my intense dislikes, because that shrinks my world. That gives me a very limited sphere to operate in. And I want to operate as a person, as a human being, on a much wider sphere. So what do? I start increasing my acceptance levels. As I increase my acceptance levels, I let go of so many things that I dislike. And then I add so many things that I like. And certainly I let go of everything that I hate. Hate is a word that I can certainly let go of. And the likes and the dislikes, even the likes will be balanced out. So I might like something a lot, but it might not excite me to the extent it did once I start centering myself regularly. So this is about a little bit about what a regular practice of mindfulness meditation can do for us. And now I would just like to quickly go through, for those of you who are not initiated and who haven't been doing a daily practice, to just go over the steps that we can follow in order to do mindfulness. So one just needs to sit comfortably and preferably work on a daily routine so that you have a fixed time of the day. It need not be very long. It can be 15 minutes. It can be even 10 minutes. But if you're, and you might not feel that you've been able to focus or concentrate, and that is perfectly okay. The main goal initially is to just do it regularly on a daily basis. And as you can see, it can be 5, 10, 15 minutes longer if you like it, if you want to do it for a longer period of time. And mindfully, we start focusing on our body, on our breathing, find the correct posture. We always like to keep our spine straight and keep the chin parallel to the ground, as they say, the head held a little higher. And when we do that, you will see that the focus will automatically shift to the middle of your brow. You will, as you elevate your head, if you take it a little down, a little up, in one position, you will notice that the focus will shift to the middle of your brow, in the center of your forehead. And that is the correct posture. You can take a back support if you wish, but try not to support your head, because then we all tend to go to sleep when we are relaxed. And feel your breath. Follow the air going in through your nostrils. Feel the sensation as you inhale. Feel the stomach inflate. Feel the stomach deflate. The breath coming out of your nose. Feel all the sensations. Feel the sensation of your feet flat on the ground. If you're wearing socks, feel the sensation of the socks against the soles of your feet. Preferably, we can do it without socks and then feel the cool ground under our feet. And we notice when we stop concentrating, when we're not able to keep our attention, the mind wanders, something happens. Something doesn't happen, the mind just wanders. We remember something, and that's okay. And we gently bring the mind back to the exercise. If we go out for a walk with a grandchild, what happens? The child will, run off somewhere, and we look on indulgently and make sure they're not going anywhere dangerous or out of sight. And then if we feel that they're going too far away, we go and pick them up and bring them back, but we do it lovingly. So there is no right or wrong way. The idea is just to keep practicing, and then on its own momentum, the practice will start deepening. So can we do a small mindfulness exercise? Is everybody up for it? All right, so everybody can just relax, sit in the posture that we were talking about, with your hands loose in your laps, palms facing the sky, with your spine straight, even if it is with support, and your chin parallel to the ground. Take a deep breath through the nostrils without straining, just a deep belly breath. Hold it for a second in the stomach and breathe out through the mouth. And once again, one more deep breath. Visualize yourself as you take a deep breath, pulling the energy from the ground through your feet towards your stomach. And as you exhale, sending it back down through your feet. We do this twice. Create a pull through our feet, flat on the ground, towards our stomach, and send it back down when we exhale. Now in the next breath, we pull the energy out from space through our heads towards our stomach. Hold it for a second in the stomach. And then exhale, with the flow going back out through the top of our heads. We do this also twice. Now we just comfortably breathe. Focus on the stomach as it moves in, as it moves out. The flutter in the nostrils. The sensations as they move up your nostril towards the center of your brow. Notice the thoughts that are coming, like a slideshow. Each thought comes and each thought goes. As each thought comes and as each thought goes, I think to myself, who am I? Who am I who is feeling these feelings? Who is thinking these thoughts? Am I these eyes that see? Am I these legs that walk? Am I this nose that breathes? Am I this mouth that talks? Who am I? Am I this blood that gushes through me, even as I sit still? Who am I? If this is my body, if this is my mind, if this is my heart, then who am I? These are mine, but I am not these. And I can observe these like a third person. And every time something overwhelms me, any emotion overpowers my thinking, I will remember that this is not me who feels. This is not me who has all these sensations. Who am I? Continue to breathe. As we relax, we take a break from our thoughts. I, the observer, know that I feel these thoughts, but I have power over them. I can steer them in the direction that I like. I experience the gap between my thoughts. As I relax, I experience a moment of sensation without any thoughts. Keep breathing, relax. Continue to observe the nostrils, the stomach. Whenever you feel your mind wandering, bring your focus, your attention back to the sensations in your body. Feel the areas of your body where there is a tightness. Take your attention there and gently relax that muscle. It could be your stomach, it could be your foot, it could be one of your fingers. Relax. You are experiencing just a moment in time. Gently start moving your fingertips. Change the position of your head. Whenever you're ready, take your time. Gently open your eyes. So that was a little bit about, there is a lot, but this was just a little bit about mindfulness meditation. And I hope you all were able to relax and experience a little bit. That's it from me. I'll be happy to take any thoughts, any sharing of thoughts, any questions.
Thank you, Mom. It was good.
Thanks a lot. Just the thing that I needed and helped me greatly. Thank you.
Quite
Thank you.
relaxing.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, it is quite relaxing.
Thank you.
Can I say one thing, madam?
Yes, please.
To summarize what you have so far told is, don't live in the past, don't live in the future, try to be in the present and live happily. Forget about other things in mind. Am I all right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's a really good summary. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is more or less the same Mahesh Yogi's transcendental meditation. And it is said every time when you become little blank, the lot of things stored in your mind gets relieved. Unwanted things get relieved in the meditation aspect of it. The calmness.
Yes, sir. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, it was about transcendental meditation, and they have trained teachers who, focus on a mantra.
Yeah.
And but there are various ways. So one is the mantra meditation, and then one is mindfulness meditation as well, which we just experienced. But as you said, the end goal is the same, which is to, reduce the number of thoughts and experience a little bit of silence and just relax from our, daily thought processes.
Yeah, very nice. And it is better also to concentrate on the breathing rather than a mantra and all. Our own breathness and the breathing, we are slowly doing it. That is very easy compared to the mantra.
Right, sir. Actually, different methods work for different people. As long as the end goal is reached,
Yeah.
it's good.
Sure.
Right. But for me also, breathing has been easier. So that's why experientially for me, this is easier to, share.
It was wonderful when you just said to bring back the mind to concentration. You compared that like your grandchildren. You have to just chase them and you bring back. It is a wonderful comparison, and yeah, I just liked it. Thank you very much for that.
Right. So we want to be gentle with ourselves because, often sometimes when we feel we set ourselves a goal and we're not able to do it, perfectly, then we sometimes get frustrated with our own selves. So the idea is to...
It is the past which keeps you worrying. Most of it, you have to forget the past.
Right, sir. True. The past has happened and it has, it has been an experience that has made us who we are today. And otherwise we wouldn't be the people we are today. We wouldn't have learned what we learned if we hadn't gone through our, various times of the past. But then there is a time to let it go also.
That is very difficult.
Right. So that's why meditation, mindfulness.
Thank you for the presentation.
So good about some issue. When you're meditating, that seems to be your major concern. Is that?
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Now I have a small stomach ailment. So when I'm doing the meditation, my focus is only on that discomfort, whatever it is, rather than on, more on the discomfort, and it seems to be influencing your session.
That's perfectly okay. As we said, we're not going to fight our thoughts. We can just gently, there will be discomfort. So it's making, it's taking your attention again and again to that. So we accept it. We don't want to fight it. And we just keep saying that we bring our focus back to the breathing. And we accept that this is an ailment and we take our attention to the ailment and we send good energy to the ailment for quick recovery, and then we come back to our breathing, and that's perfectly okay.
As a matter of fact, your tendency of the human mind is to fight the pain. As some people suggest, are you different from the pain? When you are experiencing pain, is you and the pain different, or are you the pain itself? Stay with the pain and feel it come and go. There are some people say that, but people with intense feeling feeling of pain is quite a different from somebody who preaches about pain. You see, these are two very different things. So
No, I understand.
one is to I once had an ailment in my leg, which caused excruciating pain. In those moments, watching that pain itself and as deeply as possible with full attention on the pain seemed to lessen the painful part a bit. I don't know how valid it is. It has to be
So
tried
it's
by
totally
somebody.
valid because you're talking of accepting the pain. You accepted the pain and you experienced it fully, and then you were able to bring yourself out.
They say that the residue, the pain part, the sorrow part comes because we meet the challenges fractionally. We don't go one with the problem and deal with the problem. We keep ourselves away fighting some problem or that. Thank you anyway for the spell of meditation brought a great amount of peace. There was almost some reluctance to come out of it.
Thank you. That's the biggest compliment I could get. Thank you so much. I'm so
There's
glad.
a couple of things I wanted to share personally in the context of what you have said just now. Am I audible?
Yes, I just can't see you. 1 second. I can see you.
There is voice.
No, I don't know about the need for video.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, maybe.
Yes.
The point is, I've developed a visual problem about 1.5 years back, 2 years back. I had perfectly normal vision to now a very bad vision. The point is, I recently took a trip, and then I was sitting in the front seat of the car. My memory was going back to the times when I had perfect vision. So there's almost a panic about the loss of clarity in what I was saying. So in the context of what you have said today, it seemed to me that what I need to do is to first accept my condition, not try to compare it with what it was when I had perfect vision. And after that, there has to be a response to my poor vision rather than a reaction. A reaction
Yes, sir.
A reaction causes panic, and then I just want to get out. You feel very bad because you're reacting to a situation which you have not accepted. So if I can succeed in accepting my poor vision, which has suddenly happened in the past 1.5 years, then perhaps I can respond to it and try to retain the existing vision or try to improve it. That's one thing I got from what you said. And the second thing
sir,
is,
that is totally correct. If I may just ask what the medical diagnosis is, the reason for the vision impairment?
It is glaucoma with CRVO, and there's not going to be any improvement in vision. The clinical goal is to keep the vision, existing vision, which
and
is pretty
eye pressure is now under control otherwise.
Yes, every 2 months you have to go and check your eye pressure. But I have limited vision. I vision only in one eye, and with a narrow angle and narrow angle of vision and not sharp vision of objects and things. So I mean, it's bad, but there's nothing that medicine can do for it except to make sure that it is maintained at that level. So the first thing that I realized from what we have been discussing today is that to accept my condition and not react to it. Reaction brings for me panic, and respond to it would be a more situation in which there could even be marginal improvements. And the third thing is what many people now have already said about my vision is not me. I'm
Right.
different from my vision. Like you said, I'm different. I have a heart. I'm different from my heart. So who am I? So
Right.
this attitude or constant questioning could perhaps calm me down. And you called it mindfulness, other way.
Sir, I
It could,
just want to share my husband's grandfather. He lived up to almost 101 years, but he
okay.
lost his vision because of, nerve damage at a very much younger age. And he just, started, he had very he used to just see silhouettes. And so, but he kept himself quite functional and he started meditating so intensely that, he was a follower of Ramakrishna Mission. I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just telling his story. And that, it became a story that when his external vision got affected, his internal vision opened up. And that has become an example for us all in the family, of how to, just an example of how we could, do the best in what happens.
I'm amazed that he didn't panic, because I was just panicking. I was out on a tour for about 20 days, traveling on the car, because of my vision was very poor. I was panicking, and I don't know how your grandfather managed with poor vision for so many years and lived
No,
up
I'm
to
sure he
97.
went through a stage also, initially when it happened. We weren't there, but I'm sure it happened that he also took a while to, accept it, as you say.
That's it. Yeah, I think.
But once you do, I'm sure, things will calm down, and for the appropriate response, you'll be able to find what is the best treatment and, the best lifestyle for you, and, the best way to keep as much as you have right now stable.
Thank you.
So,
There
our
is-
best
Your
wishes.
grandfather's story is helpful.
There is a well worn out saying that what cannot be cured has to be endured. We take it so casually, we don't give it the correct weight.
It's not easy.
It means what it says, what cannot be cured. If there is a cure, we find it. If there is no cure, we come to terms with it. We have to adjust how to live with it. That's all. It is like just having 6 toes or 4 fingers. Something which I cannot correct. So it is very easy to dispense advice. That's very easy. But unless we just sit quietly and do some internal analysis, research, delving into our own minds, that kind of attitude is not easy. It has to be. It can come only when there is great insight.
True.
Right. So, my just suggestion is to, do a regular practice, because that will keep your other parameters stable and, healthy, and it will keep, give you the strength, as you say, to give the appropriate response to the situation and find the best way to deal with it, whatever it will be.
Right now, the challenge is emotional because of this panic and wanting to go back, not accepting the fact that it's going to be like this. And that's something I have to overcome. And I do intend to go into self-introspection every day, and hopefully I'll be able to cope with it. Thank you.
Our best wishes.
This is Kashi Vishwanathan. I want to thank you. Simple explanation you have given, and the presentation very useful. And emphasis. Am I audible?
There was some disturbance, sir.
Okay. I thought I was not audible. So I also feel the way that you said that observing the breath is the easiest wonderful way of concentrating, rather than any mantra, because I don't chant any mantra. Observing the breathing, that itself gives a relaxing sensation. But the mind wanders, it keeps wandering. That is what I find. As you said, that you have to bring it back, like grandchildren running away gently. Come back. track. That is what I've been trying. I hope I'll be able to do a little longer than what I'm able to do. Thank you
So
very much.
generally about 3 months, if you give yourself 3 months of daily regular, say 15, 20 minutes, you will see a change in your ability to gradually start, getting more experience, more gaps. I call them gaps because we want to experience the gap between the thoughts. So the thoughts will always be there, even if we are meditating for a few years, the thoughts will be there. But you will start experiencing more and more and longer stretches gradually of the silence. And that is enough to sustain you. Where you develop this ability to be able to come back to center. There will be things or events or circumstances that will, take us off kilter and we'll become imbalanced. But the propensity to recover will be so much, stronger. And coming back to center will be much easier. Now, when I lose my temper, I feel like it's an alien thing happening to me. And I used to lose it all the time until a few years ago. And now it feels like a very alien sensation because it hardly happens, thankfully. I do get angry, but I don't lose my cool. So then I'm able to, redirect my thoughts and tell myself to calm down and think of what I need to do rather than just, going off onto a thing where I'm saying, this is bad and they shouldn't do this and all that kind of thing. So it's easier on me actually.
That's what I agree with you. And I also practice the same. Whenever I feel angry about certain things, I take a little bit of break and think about it. And then I realize there is no point in getting angry. Getting angry is because of our expectation with others. If you don't have expectation, reduce the expectation, and that very strong. That's what I feel. Other point which you said about being in the present and not worried about the future. That is something which I feel that is very important for us. And I do practice being in the present and enjoy the life at the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And very true. The more we lessen our expectations, that means the more we are accepting of whatever whatever the other person is doing. And that just, other than whatever it does to the other person or the circumstances, just leaves us in a lot more peace.
It's very true, very true.
Can I ask a doubt, madam?
Yes, please.
Will soothing music help in mindful meditation?
Well, listening to music mindfully is also, a mindfulness exercise. Mindfulness can be brought into all aspects of life. Like I said, how we eat, how we go about our work. When you're at the sink, working in the kitchen, when you're cooking, what are you thinking when you're stirring the pot? All those things, they're mindful. So even listening to music is very good. But eventually, after that, it has to lead you to silence. So you can use that music and listen to it mindfully, and it is a big stress reductor. And it really, helps and improves the quality of life. And there can be a certain time of the day when you actually do that every day. But do take a little bit of time to experience silence, because when you're in silence and then you're just listening, you listen to the flutter of the wind, the rustling of the leaves outside, the noise in the house also. Somebody has started the AC. Little things that, come into our awareness when we just listen mindfully without any judgment, without thinking that this is disturbing. So all that, comes into our silence, and then it goes away when we go deeper into the silence. So experiencing the silence is a part that you must keep, just as a recommendation.
Will shoutings in the surrounding hinder the meditation?
It will initially, you will, it's the same thing, you obviously, none of us likes shouting. And so it disturbs us. But if we take control, the oars of the boat in our hands, and we say that this is shouting, but it need not affect me right now. You can tell yourself that, like talking to a little child. Then it will stop affecting you. Initially, it will, first 2, 3, 4 times, and then it will stop affecting.
Can I say something?
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
please.
madam.
Yeah, can I share, please? I'm Mrs. Tayyabji. Being mindful, like I am really not mindful when I'm taking clothes in my hand to put it in the cupboard. I go near the fridge and I look at my hand. I say, what am I doing here? So that happens to me much too often. So I just don't know how to handle that. And if it is once in a way, so chalo bhool se ho gaya. But this happens much too often. How can I
So,
help
ma'am,
myself?
a daily practice will help you because what a daily practice is about is not just spiritual hocus pocus. We're actually developing pathways in the brain, enhancing connections when we're doing a regular practice. So when we're enhancing brain connectivity, the neuron connectivity, then we're actually helping ourselves, making our brains stronger. So if you would, that will help you then be more aware of what you're doing at a particular time. All of us have done that. जो हम कहते हैं एक चीज रखी कुछ ज्यादा ही संभाल दी अब मिल नहीं रही because we forget where we kept something carefully and then we can't find it, or we weren't aware when we were keeping it. We were thinking something else.
Ma'am, do exercise.
Especially
can I interrupt you?
One minute. When I put my keys away, and I'm very careful now. See, I must remember where I'm putting my keys. But when I'm extra careful, more the reason I forget. I don't know how that happens.
Ma'am, so for that, I recommend that you keep one fixed spot for the keys. And somebody is also saying something.
Yeah, I can help in a way that you can do 2 exercises in the morning or in the evening, whenever you get time. Not much difficult. Just keep your tongue rotating within your mouth. Yes. 15 times on one side, and then rotate the otherwise 15 times. Do it 3 times a day in the morning and 3 times a day in the evening. एक तो ये हो गया, और एक exercise है जीभ को बाहर निकाल के right left. This will help to generate your brain activities.
Okay, thank you so much.
आपको उसमें difference नजर आएगा. You'll feel better.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
There is also a technique called pause and tell yourself. You see, you want to put your keys or anything, something important in some place. You just pause and say, I am putting this key on the top left of the drawer. You just tell yourself, not vocally, but mentally. This is where I put my keys. You just tell to yourself once. And that is supposed to make a recording of our in our brain. You see, pause and tell, because what we do generally is we do something as a reaction, a spontaneous action, that you're putting this there, wherever it is comfortable, wherever we are standing, we put our spectacles under the TV, you put it on the kitchen sink, near the kitchen sink, kind of thing. So when I take out my glasses and put it somewhere, I should tell myself, I am putting my glasses near the computer once. And that is supposed to stay in our minds. Just you can try it out. It is a technique that is being told for absent-minded people who forget very simple, smallish things. And it is impossible to recall.
And one more thing, I walk a lot in the house searching for my mobile. I walk literally, I have my day's walk happening just because I have to hunt for my mobile.
We
and my
all do that,
glasses.
ma'am. We all do that.
And my glasses. These two things I'm shouting in the house all the time. Anybody seen my glasses? Anybody seen my mobile? And they dial my number and I go and get it. But that's much too often.
No, ma'am, I think a daily practice will also help.
Yeah.
And of course,
and also
you know,
designating,
small solutions.
designating a particular place for a particular thing.
Right.
That always helps. Mobile will be here. My keys will be here. My glasses will be on my nose all the time. No need to take away the glasses. If you take it away, hold it in your left hand and put it back.
Okay.
And ma'am, glasses can also be in a chain around your neck.
I tried that, but that bothers me.
That's true. You have to be used to it.
Yeah, you must get used to it. Anyways, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I don't know.
Okay, ma'am. I think there is no other questions. Thank you so much for your wonderful meditation and very nice solution, small tips and very very nicely explained. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll wind up.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I could share this with everybody here.
On behalf of audience, I wish to thank you wholeheartedly for your wonderful presentation and very clarifying statements.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
hope
you.
it was helpful.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you.